Hi there everyone, welcome back to Cody's Lab. So it's just after VidCon and I decided to come up through Sacramento on the way home so that I could stop back here at the American River, the same place that I stopped about 3 years ago, and do a little bit more panning, see if we can find a little bit more gold. And of course this area is where I've determined to be a nice large amount of gold. I did a lot of sampling and testing, and I think I figured out where it is in this particular river. Every river's different. Like when we were up in Hope, Alaska, the gold would settle on top of a clay layer, which was actually up off of the river itself. Down here, the gold is right at the front of these gravel bars on the bends of the river and sitting on the bedrock. Which makes sense because gold is very heavy. It's going to go down all the way as far down as it can. Alright, so I got the sluice set up. It might be a little bit steep, but let's see how that goes. Got a little lead acid battery to turn on the pump. Pump right there. So this is a powered sluice. It's much better so I don't have to rely on the water level in the stream, because the water level in the stream changes rather rapidly. Okay, so I see a little bit of a problem. The water is just bouncing off this mat here. It's probably also a little too steep. Let me adjust it a little bit. Okay, that's probably a little bit better. Let's see how it goes. Sprinkle in some dirt. It clears it right off the riffles. I think we're good. So I'm still testing the sluice. I just dug up a pan of dirt here. Let's throw this in and see if we get anything out of it. See where the black sand's going. Let's see, it might... Yeah, okay, that's probably about right. Just feed it a little slowly. I like how there's black sand sticking up in this crack here. Place to watch for nuggets. Let me make this a little bit steeper. Okay, just turned off the sluice after the first pan of dirt. Let's have a look at this. Looks like there's a bit of gold right there. Let me zoom in. Right there is a piece. Let's look up in the front here. I bet most of our nuggets are going to end up underneath of this lip. Like I see there's a nugget right there. It's still small. You can probably see it right there, sitting on the aluminum. Okay, right over here you can see there's a kind of a crevice in the bedrock. And the gold bouncing along the riverbed during a storm has a good chance of getting stuck in these places. So let's clear this out and see what we find. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of pull out the larger rocks. Give them a good shake first to dislodge any gold particles. I think it's rather concerning that there's so much broken glass in here. It's a good thing I'm wearing some little water shoes. See, that rock's stuck. If we can pry it loose. Like that, we can access the material that's trapped under it. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of dig that away, and then I'll scoop it into this screen, shake it into the bucket, and we'll haul it over to the sluice. Alright, so now that I've got most of the large rocks pulled out, I'm just gonna kind of shovel the material into my pan here just by sweeping. Just dump it into the stream. Kind of wash water as I'm shaking to get the material to go through. Also helps when the bucket's filled up. The water actually stays up in the stream to lubricate the material. I'll just chuck it off and add another load.
Okay.
Okay. So now that I've got most of the material pulled off the bedrock, so it's pretty clean down there. Can't really see because the water's muddy. What I'm doing is I'm going along the cracks and scratching at them with my screwdriver here, just to dislodge the little pebbles and sand that's stuck down in those cracks. Hopefully also dislodge the gold nuggets. So after I've scraped out a little bit, I'm going to use my hand to kind of wash water and kind of push the material up out of the cracks and over into a little spot that's kind of a depression. Just sweep all this material with my hands all together. There's the material that was actually down in the cracks. Probably use my pan so I don't have to carry it quite as far. Risk dropping it. Go, got the sluice powered back up. Let's just shovel in the material. I'll come around here so you can see it. A little bit too fast here. Also, let's see if I can let the water come down a little bit more to this side. There we go. Make it a little bit more level. See the black sand piling up in here? There's a lot of that black sand. It's not really a problem because the gold is heavier than the black sand. So the gold will stay even if the black sand's leaving the sluice. But it is something to watch for.
Okay.
Alright, so we're just about done with this bucket. There's a few more handfuls left. And we'll shut off the sluice and see if we can see any large nuggets here. Probably should see something. Worth the material that we cleaned right off the bedrock. There we go, let's let the sluice wash for a little while. And we'll turn it off because there's no sense running it while we're out digging. Let's see if we got any gold. I can see a nugget right here. See that? At the end of my finger. There's a, looks like a pellet from a pellet gun. And the lead's heavy just like gold is. You're able to see that?
Yeah.
Just kind of look up underneath of this. There's some more shotgun BBs. And clean outs are going to be hard with this sluice because the It's got places that the gold gets trapped, which is good because then we trap the gold, but I can't see it right away. It's hard to get back out. Is that? That's just a piece of mica. Okay, there's some nuggets. There's one right there, see that? Yeah, there's a lot of shot and stuff in here. Yeah, most of our nuggets is right up underneath of this lip. But yeah, it's pretty good right there. Let's pull that out. Now, should we keep digging? Oh, there's a gold nugget right here. Can you see that? Yeah. Right there in the matting. Okay, we need to have something to put these in. And I don't think they're going to leave the sluice, but now that we have them, I don't want to lose them.
Filming.
Alright, so I've moved over here. This is actually more towards the front of this gravel bar, although we are still kind of off to the side of the river. Mostly I've come over here because the bedrock is close to the surface. I don't have to dig quite as far. And there's a nice big crack right here. You want to turn around, Kangen, you can show them the crack behind you.
That one?
All the way back.
That's my shadow. What?
Turn all the way around. Okay, so you can see that crack there. That extends out into the river. So come back to me. Yeah, so I'm cleaning that out. Right in front of this boulder here. And I think this is where we're going to get most of our material this trip. So you probably can't see much. I can't see much either. Have to do everything by feel. And you see the tips of my gloves are actually wearing through. That's going to be a problem. This really is, I have to scrape along the bedrock to get the material. So we might have to go get a better pair of gloves. So another pan of material here. Put that in my bucket. When the bucket's full, we'll go over, wash it all through the sluice, come back and get another bucket. Probably do that until we run out of time. So, see you guys in a little bit. Down in here, look, fishing sinkers, bullets, shot, just piles of stuff. Loads of lead. Let's actually turn the water off real quick so we can have a look. Look at that. I know I'm in the right spot when I see that. If you look down in here, if I can focus the camera. See all these little bits of gold? There's absolutely loads of it. Look at it right here. Right there, before it even got into the riffles. There's gold and lead, bullets and sinkers. Definitely in the right spot. Well, let's keep going. So to clean out the cracks, I have been using this little snuffer thing. You can see it's got metal pipe and a bulb that catches the dirt and something to suck the water into it. I can stick it down into the crack. I can suck up the material. See, there's material that got sucked up into there. Probably even make this a little bit longer there so it holds more. Yeah. It's no dredge, but it does work. You Yeah, it works a little bit better when I'm completely underwater. Unfortunately, dredging is not legal, so I have to do stuff like this. Well, I think we got quite a bit of gold anyway. So I managed to clean off the bedrock on this whole area up along that crack. I found, along with the gold and the bullets and stuff that were panning out, some nice chunks of quartz, which might actually have gold in it. And I also found a handful of change. All kind of pennies and 2 dimes and a quarter there, which I just dropped one of the pennies. Oh well. So there's our tailings, the big pile that we've been kind of raking it out. Here's the sluice, and I think it's time to do a clean out. I'm gonna set the bucket up in there. Just undo all these and throw everything into the bucket. How's it look, King?
It's fine.
This is after a day's work. All our gold should be right in this stuff. Throwing it in the bucket. And I'm just going to take this bucket home. I'm not going to bother trying to extract the gold now. Just leave it all in the black sand. Let's turn this on to wash everything down. All goes. Where's that wrench? We need to undo this mat here.
I don't know.
I'll go find it. Just pause the camera. You see anything? Okay. So, I'm just undoing these bolts so I can take out this rubber mat. See what's underneath of it. Go ahead and pause. Okay. Just the water. There we go. All the gold's now in the bucket.
Coming.
There's the extra sluice box right there. There. What do you think, Kangan? You excited to go home?
Yeah.
One pandemic later.
Right, so it has been a little over 4 years. Kangan's no longer with me, and I'm also missing a ponytail, as you can see. Haven't done anything with this bucket. All I did is I just set it up there on that shelf. You see here, there's all the equipment. My plan was to go back to the river. Like, half a day was just not long enough. So my plan was to go back and actually camp out, spend a week, and hopefully gather enough gold to make a proper ring or something. But of course that never happened. And I'm trying to clean things up, so I figure may as well finish this video, see how much gold I actually managed to acquire. So let's go clean this up, see what we got. Okay, so I've got a dish to pan into, a water source, some soap to break up any grease, because the grease from your fingers can cause gold to float away. And also it will help for washing the carpets. Got some cardboard there that I can spread the material out onto, a strong magnet, and a gold pan. bit. There's the concentrates. There. Let's throw all this back in the bucket. Let's spread the concentrates out over the cardboard. Bullet. The idea is to use the magnet to pick up the black sand, the iron oxides, mainly the magnetite. This will make panning the material much easier. The gold is heavier than the black sand, but the ratio of difference is less than you have with just the ordinary sand, so it's more difficult to separate. Fortunately, the magnet will pull out most of it. Okay, that's most of it. Put this back in the pan. Okay. Fill the bucket with water, add a little bit of the soap. There we go. These metal tools I can probably just rinse off. Okay. The carpeting, I'm gonna kind of wash around, just like I'm doing some laundry. Rub it against itself. Try to dislodge all the particles. Okay. So there's the equipment cleaned. Pour this off. A little bit of dirt we washed off of everything. I'm just going to put it inside the gold pan. Okay. Fill that lid. Now I'll just pan this down. Okay, so I've got it panned down pretty much as far as I can go. See, there's lots of lead here. Hopefully, we have our gold. Look at that. That's a nugget. I think it's the biggest nugget I've ever gotten. Very nice. Let me find something to put the lid into. I'll see if I can separate this stuff out. Just to pick out all the lid pieces. Okay. Now that the lid has been removed, I'm left with the gold and some black sand, which is not magnetic, so it's probably hematite. I should be able to pan it down a little bit more now, though. Well, there it is, panned down as far as I can get it without losing too much gold. There we go. So still a couple of pieces of lead left. Mostly gold at this point. And you might be able to see here. Let me dump off some of the water. One of these nuggets is kind of silver on one side and gold on the other. That is because this gold nugget is coated with mercury. And this one looks like it's actually a mercury gold amalgam. Yeah, there's mercury in the river, probably from old gold panners who lost a little bit. That wasn't me. There it is. You can also see how the gold's floating because of the oil from my fingers. There's not enough soap. I'll be able to kind of separate out the gold by tapping the pan. Just spread it out a little. There we go. See how the nuggets walk towards the impact? Need a little bit more water. Lubricate them. There we go. There's the gold separated. Let's take the gold, transfer it out of the pan. There's still some pieces in there I'll have to go through with a pair of tweezers and pick out, but that's the majority of it. Just let this dry and then we can weigh it. Okay, so here's the gold. It's all dry. So here's the gold. It's all dry. So let's transfer it into this cup on the scale. We got just over 0.8 grams. And a little bit of that is still some sand and mercury. So let's call it 0.8 grams of gold. You know, that is pretty good for just half a day's work with hand tools. Of course, consider that I knew exactly where to look because I had scouted the area before. And I was cleaning out a pretty good crack. Oh, there it is. It's not really enough gold to do what I wanted, but it is quite pretty to look at in a little bottle here. Perhaps someday I'll go back to the river and get more, do what I was planning. But for now, this is how it'll sit. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.